Yo, Nick, do you need to click live or no? Oh, we're good. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode live of Sales Secrets from the Top 1%, where the world's best sales experts share their secrets to success. It's your host, Brandon Bornancin, CEO and founder of Seamless.AI, and #1 best-selling author of our newest book that we're interviewing for right now live on set, Sales Secrets. The top salespeople share their secrets to sales success. Darryl Praill. So, who am I thrilled to have with me today? Darryl. Darryl is the Chief Revenue Officer of VanillaSoft. VanillaSoft is a sales engagement platform that is helping sales teams successfully engage with millions of leads every single month. Darryl has been named a top 2020 SaaS branding expert, a top B2B marketer to follow, a Sales World Top 50 keynote speaker. I don't know what list Darryl is not on. Also, Darryl and I first met from a LinkedIn battle fight of the greatest in 2019. So this is going to be a lot of fun. Darryl, thank you so much for joining us today.
Dude, I was just enjoying the music. I mean, everything after this is all bonus. That music you have is sick. I love your music choice.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Nick, what is that brand again? Loyal. Odessa Loyal. Yeah, so Odessa Loyal works for companies like Uber and then us on the live stream.
That's awesome. No, great music choice.
Darryl,
of course, I expect that from you.
Yeah, exactly, man. So I'm a huge fan. I've been following you for quite some time. What did we battle about? I
do not recall. I battle with people like every single day, for better or worse. I mean, so let me ask you that. When you battle with people,
yeah,
does it ever get to you? I've had, I think like once a year, somebody somewhere says something that I go, and I'm like, I'm not happy. But everybody else is like, it's just part of the back and forth, the dialogue.
Hold on, Darryl. I'm the captain now. I'm the captain, not you.
But I take over. I run the show.
You're interviewing who?
No, I'm just all right. Fine. You run your show.
No, I'm totally kidding, dude. No, it never bothers me. I think half the stuff we do is like for fun and to get a rise out of the crowd, to get a rise out of each other. Because if we just did the same thing over and over again, it gets boring. So like the battles, I love the battles. I forget what it was, but it was awesome, man. Well, first off, thanks for joining us. I'm thrilled to have you on. Congrats on, you're one of the first CMOs, of recent to go from CMO to CRO. And I love seeing that. And we've got a lot to talk about, but I'd love for the audience for you to just share your background. And then also, since guys, this is our first live Sales Secret show, we were sick of like doing all the post-production and we're just like, let's just go live and done. So Darryl, the goal of this show is I want, a few minutes for you to share your background and your marketing and sales experience, where you've worked. And then we're going to get into your top 3 secrets. And then we're going to go into rapid fire questions right off the cusp. where the audience can learn just about you and your experience. So why don't we go over the next few minutes? You give us a quick intro on your background from where you've been and where you're at today.
All right. So I have the classic approach of sales. I began life as a computer programmer. I was a computer science guy. That's what I did.
That's
and when I finished university, I was burnt out. I've been coding in all high school, university, and I'm like, I don't want to do this shit anymore. What do I do? And what does everybody tell you when they don't know what you should do? They say, you should go in sales. And they told me the same thing. Yep. So I started selling photocopiers door to door. I went and bought a very used 1984, which says, I started in the workforce in the late 80s, 84 Plymouth Voyager minivan to cart around these photocopiers. I hit the industrial malls and knocking door to door in a suit in those days, walking up to small accountants and mechanics and trying to sell them copiers. Talk about learning how to handle rejection and look for that picture on the wall so you can start a conversation, so to speak.
Is that hard too, to go from the engineering to the door-to-door sales? Like that's such a dramatic shift.
Yeah, it was a huge shift. I had core skills. You can talk to people, you can say, hi, how are you? That kind of stuff, so you know how to be relational a little bit. But yeah, it was a massive shift. It was a massive shift. So I did that for 6 months and had my ass handed to me. Did not make a lot of money. Was actually put off of the sales world because at least in those days, in that kind of sale, it was a slimy business. I'll be telling you, there's a lot of reps totally screwing over clients. And that didn't sit well with me. That's cool. I went back to coding, did that for 4 or 5 years and got tired of that, as I knew I would. And so my branch out of that was to become a sales engineer. And then once I became a sales engineer, then I went from sales engineer to product management to product marketing to marketing. I then worked my way up and then became a VP sales and marketing. And I went back and forth. Before you know it, there you go.
Sales to engineer. Yep. Sorry, no. Engineer to sales to product marketing, and then product marketing to like CMO, and now you're the CRO.
Pretty much. I was VP of sales multiple times. So because what happened, it literally happened to me twice, where I was the CMO or VP of marketing, and then they'd fire the head of sales, because that's what happens all the time, we all know. And then they say, Praill.
By the way, why do they always fire the head of sales?
Because usually it's a CEO who has never done sales themselves, ever. And they just don't know what the hell they're doing.
So they set these like massive targets. They expect
exactly
to hit them.
And they think they're the best salesperson ever. Like, dude, I don't know why you're not closing this. Let me show you how to close it. And then they're awful. And if you point out to them that they're awful, then there's a million excuses. I've run into those CEOs a lot. That's awesome. So I carried a bag multiple times. And then here, I came, I had my own, I got so tired of the .com thing and making a lot of money for a lot of people that I physically then have my own agency, a sales and marketing agency for 8 years.
Oh, cool.
When VanillaSoft came knocking.
Company.
I have my own company. Yeah.
That's amazing.
And when VanillaSoft came knocking, it was, sales engagement, hot space, lots of money. And I was ready to get back into the game. So I closed the shop up. And 3 years later of being CMO, they made me CRO. So, and that's a good example. It wasn't like they just said, hey, we need someone in sales. They'd had 3 years to kick the tires on me to make sure that I was worthy of the role. And it's a big role.
Yeah, that's huge. And what do you think was the biggest difference from you doing your own shop, like the success there to the success going into the CMO? Like, what shifted in your strategy and your execution and your habits from your own shop to CMO and then from CMO to CRO?
So a couple things. So on my own shop, the interesting thing about having my own shop was that I was still, I was this, president, CEO, call it what you will, and I had a crew of people working for me, but I was still a chief sales officer. A single sale was never made without me being involved in every single deal. So, for 8 years, I was making sure I led all sales from our own company. What shifted coming here was I had to share control, right? So now I've got a different CEO. I've got other personalities I have to play nice with. So when I had my own shop, I was king of the hill. Whatever I said went. Coming back here, you had to come back to this. Now, the flip to that, though, is when you come back to working for a company, you typically do have more resources. And that was huge.
Way more resources.
And the best part, true story, we were about 2 weeks into the job. I was touring all of our clients. getting to know the company. I was on the road with the CEO, and my wife messages me, and we're at that point of transition between old cash flow versus new job, and she's like, "Hey, I need to go and buy this. It was a big ticket item. Can I go do this?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know. Let me go check." So I checked the cash, the balance in the bank account on the smartphone, and I'm like, "Holy shit! Where did all this money come from?" I was shocked, and what it was I had to stop and think about it, and I had been paid. So for 8 years, I was chasing down accounts receivable. You're the last person to get fed. Some months I make a lot of money, some months I make no money. But working for somebody, I got paid. That was crazy. So
I love that. And it's so sad that entrepreneurship is so hard, right?
Yeah, it's hard.
Like,
this.
It's fucking brutal. Accounting, finance, sales, customer success, marketing, you're doing it all.
The beauty that I didn't have to go and do invoicing that first month or just chase people for receivables, that was worth the shift right there. It was amazing.
Awesome. So audience tuning in, some of the best salespeople, sales leaders that I've ever met were engineers that could build the systems, the data, the technology, the strategies to go to market to build really big companies. We're going to get into Darryl's top sales secrets, 3 of his best sales secrets, right after this commercial. Nick, you good to go?
This show is sponsored by Seamless.AI. Seamless.AI delivers the world's best sales leads. Find emails and cell phones for any professional in the world within seconds. Get Seamless.ai for free today at www.seamless.ai. Once again, that's www.seamless.ai.
All right, thanks everyone tuning back. So with us today is the Chief Revenue Officer at VanillaSoft, Darryl. Darryl's been an engineer. He's been in sales. He's carried a bag. Then he's been in marketing all the way up to CMO. Well, running his own shop. So then being CMO to now the Chief Revenue Officer. Darryl, I'd love to dive into, this show's all about the sales secrets, 650 pages. This book is thick, and I can't wait to get you in this book.
I saw Disney. Disney was posting the other day about the chapter you got his book. Yeah. Awesome stuff.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, you're going to join the ranks of Jeffrey Gitomer, the Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort, down to Kevin Dorsey. I mean, there's over 100 sales experts in sales secrets. So what we would love to do is hear your top 3 sales secrets and try to prioritize saving your number 1 top sales secret for last. That way.
Okay. All right. So we're doing this right now?
Secret for last. So then if you've got 1 or 2 more that we could cover right now. And we want to make this interactive. And Nick, when Darryl's talking, you can phase me out and keep him in main screen. I don't know how to do that. But also, audience tuning in, we're going to make this super interactive. So let us know what questions you have. Let us know your name, the location. We want to make this super interactive. We're going to answer Q&A at the end of the show. Cool. So sales secrets, Darryl. What comes to mind? Your top 3 sales secrets and the best for last.
Okay, so the best for last. Okay, so top 3 sales secrets. If you were to hammer me right now, I'm not going to tell you anything you don't know. So you could hang up now. You shouldn't. Or if you're going to do that, go read Brandon's book. But what I'm going to do is remind you what you already know that I know you're not doing, and you should be doing this. Number 3, because I have to build up to it, Brandon says. Yeah. Number 3 is when you're working an account, you need to map the account and know who your 3x3, the 3 low-level contacts, your users, your 3 mid-level, your 3 executive sponsors who are going to work you through that account. Over and over and over again, I watch you guys out there, and you're so good at what you do, but you find that one champion who's got happy ears, who you won't let go, and you want to ride that horse all the way to the end. And then what happens at the end, when you think you've got the deal, you forecasted it, you told your team, this is going down, and you lose the deal, because you're blindsided because you didn't realize there was another economic buyer you didn't talk to, or there was another technical buyer influencing it behind the scenes, and you're just going, how the hell did this happen? And all you had to do was to have the courage to say, I love you as a sponsor. Now, when you've made these purchases before, who else was involved in the process? And maybe we should get them involved too, so that there's no surprises as we go down this road. Simply doing that, you're going to find two things. One, your ability to box out your competition grows up dramatically because they're making the same mistake. They're riding that one horse as well, whereas you're getting all the information. And two, you actually will have a significantly higher conversion and close rate by doing that. You control the agenda. You uncover internal politics. When you do this, you uncover more opportunity. So your average deal size goes from here to here. And all it takes is mapping the account and having the courage to do that. Sounds stupid? They teach you that all the time. Too many of you, way too many of you, do not do it. That's my number 3 secret tip.
Wow, I love it. What so you said 3x3. So you're
3x3, the classic, window pane.
3 lower, 3 mid, 3 C-suite,
3 upper.
And then how would I go about so I find all 9, whether it's using Seamless or LinkedIn or whatever.
You got it.
I've got the low, mid, and high.
Yep.
Are there customizations in VanillaSoft or in CRM that you do? What do you recommend?
Well, the beauty of the 3x3, yes, you can use VanillaSoft. You would definitely use Seamless. I cannot say you would definitely use Seamless to identify these people, complemented by LinkedIn, of course. You understand where they are in the hierarchy and the role. Yep. But what you want to do is you want to map this. Basically, there's personas, and then there's ICPs, your ideal customer profile, right? So if it's, I'll use the example of VanillaSoft. Who would buy VanillaSoft? Well, at the bottom 3, I might have a sales development rep. Yeah, I might have an account executive, right? Those are the 2 right away. And maybe more than likely, I have a revenue ops person who's got to do all the reporting and the analysis to see, what does an MQL convert to an SQL, convert to an opportunity, convert to a deal. In the mid-level, I'm going to have your SDR manager. I'm going to have your marketing, maybe a rev ops manager or a marketing manager. The upper level, I'm going to have a head of sales, VP, director, CRO, head of marketing, and maybe a CFO, COO, COO, that kind of thing, because they all have different requirements. So you want to map these people out. And what you're going to do is you're going to speak to them differently. If you know your personas, you know that the VP of sales or the VP of marketing has a very different worldview, reason for getting out of bed every morning, how they're measured than that person at the mid-level, than that person at the user level. So you want to have cadences that reach and speak to each of them. And you can set that all up in VanillaSoft or any other sales engagement platform you want. But of course, you don't want to use VanillaSoft. But that's right away. So you want to get the data, you want to have the intelligence, and you want to really connect one-on-one using the ICP and the persona. And that just goes back to account-based marketing. The first thing they teach you is who's your ICP and who's your persona. So to do this 3x3 grid, you really need to know who you're selling into. And to do that, you really need a really solid data solution, sales intelligence solution.
Absolutely amazing. The 3x3. Don't forget to do the 3x3. If you had to title that secret in your chapter, Darryl, what would you call it?
Oh my gosh, what would I call that? Sales is a party.
Sales is a party. Look at
all right.
you.
There you go.
And by the marketer way, what we say? Phil says, "Wow, love Darryl's backdrop." Phil or Darryl, what do you use it for the backdrop?
Okay, ready? I'm going to show you something. Stay there. Ready?
It's live. I love it.
That's a real backdrop. That's not any kind of background. That is, if you span out, I'm blessed to have a wonderful little studio here. So it's smoking.
That's amazing.
I got this idea years ago, livestream.com, before they were bought by Vimeo. I happened to watch one of their videos. They were in this cool New York loft, and they had a red backdrop, and it was lit dramatically from the top coming down. But the key to making this all work isn't just the background, it's the lens on the camera. You want a real, like an f1.4, 1.7 kind of, pancake lens almost. So that's my secret for you. That we get the beautiful bokeh effect. It's just enough blur. It's about awesome. 5-6 feet behind me. Tricks of the trade, baby.
Scott says, "Is this in your living?"
It is not. I am in our offices here, and we have probably this office where I hold 150 people. And right now, this moment in time, there's myself and one other person here. So there you go.
Right. Well, Darryl, hey, sales is a party. I love that secret. Let's go to your second most important secret that you've learned throughout your entire sales career. What would that be?
Okay, second most important thing, and it's the easiest thing ever to do. And I will tell you that if you're in an industry like insurance, you know this, it's drilled into you. But if you're in any other industry, high tech, manufacturing, finance, healthcare, etc., you forget about it. The second tip is you always ask for a referral. You could ask for a referral when you win a deal. You can ask for a referral when you lose a deal. And when you're doing that 3x3 grid we talked about, every single one of those people can give you a referral. And the reason you're going to do that is because then you're going to reach out to that other person and say, hey, Brandon said I should talk to you. That's it. You got a soft, trusted introduction to your next opportunity. And Brandon, if he's the one giving the referral, is going to be not just giving you a name off the top of their head because they're pretty confident you're going to drop their name. It's going to be somebody they think can actually take advantage of your product or your service. But too many of you get caught up in the sale and you forget to ask, or you actually get afraid of asking for a referral. You might have it in your head that that's slimy. You might just think, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to, change this. People, if you have a positive impact on your client, on your prospect that you just closed or about to close, or even if they're not ready for you now, but you really had a good connection, they will do that for you because that's how the tribe works. I'm really bummed that I can't help you. We're not in a position to buy right now. But you know what? You should talk to Susie over at Acme Inc. Susie would love you. Great. Brandon, can you actually do an introduction for me to Susie instead of me doing it myself? No problem, Darryl. I've got your back. Referrals.
How many salespeople do you think do that? Keep going. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying referrals. Referrals, it's just like...
I forget all the time to ask referrals.
I know.
I mean, I bet you all of us do all the time. We probably deliver so much value, and then we forget to ask, like, do you just do it via email? Do you pick up the phone? How are you asking the best way to ask, you think?
Well, you're going to do it no matter, on the channel that the prospect most engages with, right? So, one of the things about sales engagement is that it's multi-channel. So you don't know, do they like the phone? Do they like email? Do they like social? You just don't know. So you want to do a cadence or a sequence that's multi-channel, a little bit of email, a little bit of phone, a little bit of social, maybe some SMS. They're going to react to one of that. For example, what I get periodically is I get people pinging me because I own the budget, come to me and say, okay, I tried you on phone, I tried you on email, but I see you busy on social, so I'm reaching out here. When they do that, I giggle because I know they've actually tried to reach me because they've nailed me. And when they actually put that in their conversation as an opener, that's when I relent and say, dude, if you've tried all those other channels and you've come here, I'm rewarding you. And from that point on, we now know that social is the way to get a hold of me. So that's the best way to make the ask. But of course, if you are talking to them live, one-on-one on a phone or a Zoom meeting of any sorts, make the ask there because it is most difficult to say no to somebody when you're live, face-to-face, like Brandon and I are right now.
Yeah, I love that. Especially live, man. That's so strong. And
you're putting them on the spot, right?
I wish there was an easier way. I've got 30 to 50 salespeople, 30 AEs, 50 SDRs. And I'm thinking, I bet you none of them have asked for a referral in the past 20 days, 30 days, just because
true.
We forget. I forget.
You forget. And that's the thing. You forget. It's one of those simple things. You just forget, but it's easy money. I mean, that should be part of your standard sale. We're all supposed to have a standard sales process. I know, Brandon, you know this, right? Because it's how you scale. On that checklist, and this is another thing you can do in your sales enablement system, is you can have that playbook of things you need to do, is ask for the referral. Even if it's in your script, ask for the referral. So, I mean, if you just want to hit your quota every single time, that's how you do it. That's how you turn one deal into three.
And I was just thinking how I could scale that. And for the audience, one of the ways that I think I'm going to do it right after this show is I'm going to create a Slack reminder. Darryl, you guys use Slack over there?
Oh my, we are so in on Slack. We have a question on Slack. Are you a threaded Slack user or an inline Slack user? This is the big conflict we have here at VanillaSoft.
Okay, so I'm an addicted hashtag channel creator.
I love it.
I've got some massive problems with creating Slack channels, and then when it comes to replying in line or creating like new
threads,
threads, I hate replies because I feel like I can never easily read it. I got to click through and then read it. I'm a big like workflow guy, so I always just never reply to the channel. I just reply right in the message.
So you're an inline guy. That's how I am as well.
Inline guy.
But so we just acquired a company. We acquired a company called AutoClose. All right. So VanillaSoft was 100% inline Slack users. AutoClose 100% threaded. We love each other. The biggest conflict we had in the acquisition was how to use Slack. I'm not making this up.
You can't make this shit up. I love it. I love it. Well, what would we title? Let's title this secret because it's going to go in the book. What do you think this title would be for around referrals?
Friends make play dates for you.
I think Darryl's going to be the best on the spot chapter creator out of anyone we've ever met. So, we've got the party, we've got friends make the best play dates, and then
bingo.
And then everyone tune it in. We are going to be going over Darryl's top number one secret. If you go back to himself to his 20-something, we're about to review that. Nick, hit the thing. You're on Sales Secrets. The world's top salespeople share their secrets to success. A message from our sponsor, then we're diving right into the last secret.
This show is sponsored by Seamless.AI. Seamless.AI delivers the world's best sales leads. Find emails and cell phones for any professional in the world within seconds. Get Seamless.AI for free today at www.seamless.ai. Once again, that's www.seamless.ai.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. So you're on Sales Secrets. The world's top salespeople share their secrets to success. I'm with Darryl Praill, the CRO at VanillaSoft, formerly the CMO, formerly the entrepreneur running his own digital marketing agency, formerly an engineer out of college, which is wild. I love it. And ran his own bag in sales for many years. So, Darryl, this is the most exciting part of the show. Your top sales secret. If you had to boil it down, go back to your 20-something to maximize sales, generate millions in sales insanely fast. What would your top sales secret be?
Okay, let me set the stage a little bit, then I'll give you the secret. And the secret is so obvious. And Brandon is the poster child for my secret. That's my teaser. All right. My wife always beat me up when I was by 20-something because I sucked at networking. I'm an introvert by trade. So the whole idea of networking, going to events, it's like, shoot me now. I have no desire. That's the setup. Move ahead. I take the gig at VanillaSoft. Now, at the time, I was literally turning 50 years old. And now VanillaSoft, we compete with other vendors you may have heard of, SalesLoft, Outreach. We've got 1%, less than 1% of the funding that they have. So how can I, as the CMO at the time, on behalf of the company brand, on behalf of my own personal brand, compete with this company who's just kicking my ass in funding and in advocacy by Wall Street and everything else? How do I do it? Remember, I'm an introvert. How I did it was I owned my brand. So whilst I had been on LinkedIn for forever, it was just a glorified resume. What I did, I knew the world had changed. People don't buy from companies. People buy from people. People buy from you. I don't care who the hell you work for. At the end of the day, they're not buying from them. They're buying from you because they believe and trust in you. I mean, it's not the Seamless.AI book. It's the Brandon book, right? Yeah. They buy from you. That's what people they do.
Buy from people.
They buy from people. So I got busy building my own brand on LinkedIn. And I did that by doing two things. Real simple. Number one, I bought a freaking $8 ebook, How to Write a Killer LinkedIn Book, on Amazon, and I updated my LinkedIn profile over the Christmas holidays.
You know who
it took me. That was it. $8. CMO. I spent $8. I did what it told me to do. And everybody comes to me. I got Mario Martinez Jr. I got Dan Disney. Yeah. Your profile's amazing. I bought an $8 book. If you haven't, then you are not owning your career and your sales success. That's number one. Because the first thing your prospects do is they go to LinkedIn and say, who the hell are you? You better look good. The second thing I did was I made great content. I used video. I got in people's faces. I've already seen comments here. People liking, like, the debates I have, people like Benjamin Dennehy or Keenan or others or Brandon. Like, we open up the whole show here. That content, that being in people's face, that is what draws people to you. And when you do that, you become your own source of inbound business. People are coming to you and say, I see you all the time. Are you a good fit for my problem? You talked about this. I have that problem. They're like coming to you and they're saying, sell me because I like you. I made the point of saying I started this when I was 50 years old. If I can do it when I was 50 years old, sure as the hell you guys can do it because you're way smarter and more hip than I am. So that's my recommendation. You need to own the brand. And to own the brand, you got to package yourself up a little bit. I spent $8. That's it. That's my number one tip. You own your brand. You do two things. You're feeding yourself today because leads come to you, but you're giving yourself a career trajectory for tomorrow because you might get laid off next week. Where's your next gig? Your brand dictates your next gig.
I love that. So what would you title this? Invest in your brand?
No. Be the diva.
Oh my God, dude. You are the best copywriter for these titles. Be the diva. I'm dying right now.
Be the diva.
Be the diva. Okay, amazing. Would you remember what the book was called that you read?
Yeah, no. How to write a killer LinkedIn profile.
Got it. So literally, guys, if you want to follow Darryl's footsteps, how to write a killer LinkedIn profile, $8. If you can't find it, then Google 7-figure social selling and buy this book instead.
Bam.
But this is branding. This is going to what Darryl's talking about. How to write a killer LinkedIn profile. 7-figure social selling. You name it. Like, there's a reason why Darryl's investing, building his brand online. There's a reason why I'm investing in building our brand online. It sounds like you got to be the diva. And I hope I'm doing a good job being
You got to be the diva. And then people will laugh at you. The difference between a diva, though, and what you need to be is the divas are like, hey, I'm better than everybody else. You don't want to be that. That doesn't work for you. But you do want to, you want to say, I know my shit. I own my shit. And occasionally I'm even wrong. I'm even okay being wrong if in the process we have a great dialogue and you present me something that I hadn't thought of. And I go, damn, you've changed my mind. Well done. Because why? Because what happens is you had the great dialogue to get there and everybody sees that back and forth in the dialogue. And both people who are fighting actually win. The one thing I will tell you when it comes to social media, especially LinkedIn, the biggest pushback I get from people is, Darryl, I get no engagement, so it's really hard for me to do this. I don't want to do it. I'm going to tell you something. 95% of the population of LinkedIn who are reading and watching your stuff are lurkers. They never write a damn thing. Ever.
That's good.
And if you don't believe me, think about yourself. How much do you write and comment and engage? And by the way, a like or an attaboy doesn't count. So it's amazing how many people I've never heard of before are like, dude, I've been following your content for so long and I think you can help me out. And I'm like, who the hell are you? Because they lurked the whole time. So don't get caught up in the vanity metrics. Just own your plan. It's like a sales territory. You own it. You work it. Your personal brand, exact same way. Be the diva.
I love that. Be the diva, everyone. Well, Darryl, I love these secrets, these 3 secrets. You're going to be written up in the book, everyone. You can pick up a copy of Sales Secrets on Amazon. It's a #1 bestseller in 24 hours. It's 650 pages now with all these new interviews. It's going to go to like 1,000. They're calling this book, which they're calling Sales Secrets the real Tool of Titans. So sorry, Tim Ferriss, you've been unseated. But Darryl, with a few minutes to go, we've got some rapid fire questions we got to ask. So
let's do it.
And then we're going to
big shout out, by the way, to Jared Best Mitchell. Love you, man. You're awesome. Carry on. Go.
Yes. Yeah. And everyone, put in any questions you have towards the end of this and we'll hit them through it. I know we're going over time, but this is our first live with the show. So, oh well. Okay. Rapid fire. What's your favorite habit?
My favorite habit?
Like, what's your favorite habit? Could be anything.
LinkedIn.
Just being on LinkedIn and writing.
I can't put it down. It's a cursing. It's a blessing. It's a pain in the ass. My favorite habit is LinkedIn.
Man, I love that. I'm trying to figure out how to reverse engineer that. That's amazing. What's your favorite book?
Oh, this year, sounds stupid. ABM is B2B, only because we went all in on ABM. I'm a big fan of Sangram Bajre. He's been a phenomenal resource. So for me, as I transitioned when I became CRO, that book was brilliant.
Yeah, Sangram's awesome. He crushed it with everything that he's doing with Terminal.
He did.
Amazing. How do you stay motivated?
I am competitive as hell, and I have an ego this big. And if things don't go well, instead of getting frustrated and walking away, I just double down. So my motivation is I want to win. My second motivation is there's a lot of money in it if I win. So I am the prize.
I love that. I was just going to ask you, who are you competing with then?
Oh, I'm competing with everybody else. But more than anything, I'm competing with myself. My wife will tell me over and over again, and she's not wrong. You are your own worst enemy because it's never good enough for you. I'll have people come up to me and say, oh, you did an awesome job here, or you're really good there. And I'm like, yeah, it's okay, but it could be better. And it's what drives me. I always want to be better. It's just how I'm wired.
That's amazing. I feel like, Darryl, I wish we connected sooner, man. How do you get unstuck? Because you get high levels of motivation, but what happens when you're having a real bad day, week, month, year? Could be because of the recession, pandemic, losing sales, not hitting your revenue targets, whatever it is. How do you get unstuck?
I walk away. I got to walk away. I walk away sometimes for days at a time. I do the exact opposite. Normally I'm at my desk, I'm working, I'm doing, podcasts, webinars, videos, I'm engaged, I'm on the phone. And when I'm stuck, usually when I'm stuck, I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off that I'm stuck or I'm annoyed. And I know if I react in the moment, it will be bad. I need to walk away. I need hours to a day to decompress, followed by picking up and calling a trusted advisor or two for perspective, followed by going, okay, I know what I need to do here. Now I've got a plan. Remember, work the plan. Now I got a plan. So now I can unstuck myself because I've got a plan to get unstuck.
So good. I love that. So just remove yourself and just kind of, it's almost like meditative, just getting out of the situation, taking a break, it sounds like.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, what do you do when you got kids and they're scrapping, right? Each of you do your corner, back it up, calm down, think about what you're doing. And with perspective, you have a little more context and you go, okay, I get it. Yeah.
And then last question, Darryl, and then we want to hear where the audience can find you. What would you tell your 20-year-old self? What advice? I
love that question. I've had that question once before. My 20-year-old self, it'd be a two-parter. It'd be number one, believe in yourself. It's natural to doubt yourself because the people you're working for are smarter, they dress better, they have more money, they have the baubles, they have the trinkets, they have the trophy spouse, they have the big house, whatever it might be, whatever you value, they've got it. And therefore you're not worthy. That's bullshit. You are worthy. You've got something different and unique that makes you special. Believe in yourself. Listen to your gut. That's number one. Number two, if you're believing in yourself, then take the risks to succeed. When I believe in myself, I know this is what I got to do. And I'm feeling like I shouldn't, but this is what my gut is telling me. Take the risks. All right. So what I always tell anybody who will listen is, if you think something needs to be done, it's not being done right, you do not go and ask for permission because they're going to shoot you down. That's why it's not being done. You go and do it and learn for yourself. And if it's successful, and 3/4 of the time it will be successful, you go back and you say, I did this. And look at the results. And then they go, oh, shit, wow. And you stand out from the crowd. And if it's not successful, well, you learned something. You literally learned something that nobody else knows. And they're going to make that mistake, but you've already made it. So believe in yourself, take a risk because you believe in yourself.
It's so strong. Darryl Praill, thank you so much for your time today. It was awesome to have you interviewed for Sales Secrets. The world's top salespeople share their secrets to success. Everyone, you can pick up a copy of the book. This is your playbook to sell anything to anyone, whether you're a salesperson, marketer, entrepreneur. This book is for you, where we're sharing the strategies, the secrets, the actionable tips, the examples of use that you can put into action right now to maximize your sales. Darryl, where can the audience learn from you, connect with you, follow you for more?
You can go to LinkedIn. I mentioned that already. You like Google, just type the word Praill. You're going to find 98% of the links all point back to me. Praill.
Awesome. And anyone that's tuning in, if you want to pick up the book, go to Amazon. If you want to listen to the podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, wherever the hell our team promotes this stuff, make sure you smash the subscribe button, the follow button, the add button, the whatever buttons, smash them all. And except for the thumbs down button. And Darryl, hey, thank you so much for the time today. It was awesome to have you on the show.
I had a blast. Take care, man. Good luck.
Cheers.